Hey, how's it going, everyone? Cyclops from Paramount Cyclops here. You know, you can look at a situation and you can kind of, at least if nothing else, rule out the bad situations. The things that don't make sense. And then get to the meat and potatoes of it and say, hey, we're at least left with some options that aren't the worst. They're not the worst because we've ruled out the worst. You know what I mean? Well, this is kind of one of them. And the very thing that everybody was wanting, which was defunding the police and whatnot, happened. So now the NYPD police union chief is telling people that they have to fend for themselves because the city isn't going to do anything. And here is the other doubly sad part is I can't really show you the story because it has too many buzzwords that will get flagged. You know what? No, let's do it. Let's read it. If it gets flagged, it gets flagged. You're adults. I'm an adult, and I just hope that I earn a subscription, a like, a comment from you would be great, and I will work hard for you guys. So let's read this, regardless if it gets flagged or not. NYPD police union chief says commuters have to defend themselves because the city is doing nothing to stop violent thugs, as woman who was shoved onto a subway track and run over by a train is identified. Now, she's okay. She's okay. She's fine. She's okay. But the act itself, sounds like they have a funding issue. Sounds like they need more police. And it would make sense because people are talking about social workers. Well, but then you have a civilian that is in the line, and if things go south, and trust me, I know, I have relatives that are mentally ill, and things can go south very quickly. Smiling one minute, and whew, the next. It is a civilian that the officers are going to have to work around that can get in the way, that can cause issues. It is much easier and more viable to take an officer and cross-train them as a social worker or as a psychologist. That is the ideal situation. That way they are not in the way and they have the training and they have the responsibility and they have the bonding, so to speak, the liability to be able to do the job if it turns into that direction. I could see having social workers and psychologists out in the field if a situation gets bad, going bad real quick. It's just another individual that would be in the way. My personal opinion. If you disagree, please let me know. So let's read this. I'm not going to be able to pronounce the mother's last name. I'm telling you that right now, so I'm just going to call her the mother. A New York woman who was pushed onto the subway tracks by a mentally ill person said that she cannot remember what happened and thought that she had fainted. The mother, 40, was lucky to survive the random attack on Thursday morning at Union Station in Manhattan. Patrick Lynch, the president of the largest police union, accused politicians of wishing the problem away and not doing enough to deal with mentally ill people and troublemakers. Because they're not. And here's the politicians' point of view. They don't want the liability. If I say there's more cops and something happens, then I'm going to look like the bad guy because I'm the one that said we should get more cops. And, it's a damned if you do and damned if you don't situation. I mean, what do? You can't just have citizens of such a large city be forced to defend themselves. That doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. We recommend that all New Yorkers keep both eyes wide open while in our transit system, he said. Now, as a general rule, that's a good rule to follow all the time, yes. But it is exacerbated if you don't have individuals there to uphold the law, to let the individuals who are not going to care about upholding the law at bay. Then what line do you have in between you and those individuals? There's no line. You want to talk about a thin blue line? What about a no blue line? The mother of two was miraculously. Let me reread this. The mother of two miraculously escaped without any broken bones following Thursday's attack, but needed stitches in her head. Surveillance Footage showed the homeless man Vemulapati, 24, can be seen pacing up and down the platform, singling out the mother, and then violently pushing her onto the tracks with both hands as the train pulled into the station. Now imagine if there was an officer who could have observed that behavior and geared up and said, hey, maybe he hasn't done anything yet, but I'm going to get close to him so that way if he does try to do something, I can be right there to stop him. I bet you the mother would be very happy. I'm glad she's okay. She's fine. And that is beautiful. And that is her right there. So defund the police. Sounds like they need more funding. The mother fell beneath the train to the horror of others on the platform and manages to land in the small space between its rolling wheels. Wow. I'll be honest, I still can't believe it, she told the New York Daily News on Friday. Yeah, I would be shocked too. It'd be like, whoa, what happened? 1 minute you're there, next minute you're not. I mean, good Lord. For me, everything was so fast, so strong, I lost all senses, so I can't remember much of what happened. I mean, could you imagine? You're standing there next thing you know, it happened so fast she didn't feel the push. She just thought she fainted. Wow. Wow. Could you imagine how much worse it could have been? Defund the police. What are the solutions? I mean, defunding the police more? Will that make it better? Probably not. So option A is probably not the option. We've already explored putting out social workers and psychologists and whatnot first. You want to talk about expensive. You want to talk about needing funding. You would need special equipment. These individuals would need special training. They would have to sign off on liability issues, and even then, the state is still open to lawsuits should something happen. So that would backfire too. What is the solution? I mean, more funding. I don't see. If you see an alternative solution, please let me know. I'm all for alternative solutions. I'm all for seeing all sides of a story. What do you recommend? What should we do? I mean, this is horrible. Imagine it was you. Imagine it was your loved one. What is the answer? Defunding the police doesn't seem to have worked. From the outside looking in, defunding the police does not seem to have worked very well. All across the board, everywhere I see, most crime is down. Violent crime is up. Is it because it's the violent individuals that are coming out and they're saying it's free reign, so they're not doing those petty crimes now? Now they're skipping it and going to those hard crimes? I don't know. What is the reason? She said she only realized what had taken place when she came around at Bellevue Hospital, where she was treated for a head injury. In a way, it's better that I can't remember because I'll be traumatized, she told the paper. I'll tell you what. I have personal experience in this. When I fell off the roof, yeah, I get what she's saying. When I fell 2 stories, I remember the fall. I don't remember the impact, and a slight portion after the impact, I remember crawling towards my phone. I don't know how long I was out. I know nothing. But I don't even remember the moment of impact. My brain has blocked out probably 5 seconds before impact, or less, however long the period of time is, split second, whatever. I remember looking down, seeing the ground coming up. And then that was it. And then came the pain. Oh, the pain. So I know what she's talking about. It's weird. It is weird. It is so weird. And I probably would be traumatized by the pain. So I feel you, lady. And I'm glad that you do. And I'm glad that you recognize that it's okay to let your brain protect you. I don't know if I want to. Ooh, no. I have a blurry image, but I don't know if it's true. That I opened my eyes and I saw that the train was coming. But I don't know if that happened. If I really could see it. I never felt the fall or anything, she said. I never saw him. He was always behind me. It's like the body's way to protect yourself. Like dash cams when you turn them on and they record 30 seconds before you actually turn them on, sort of thing. or before they're activated, not before you turn them on, but before they're activated. Some before you turn them on, because they're an always on feature. But it's like the brain can rewind and say, nope, didn't happen. Didn't happen. Not dealing with it. Not now. Not doing it. But I mean, geez, what do we do, man? Is there an answer? Anybody? 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 I know there's no perfect answer. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And if you have an answer, something that's different and out of the box reasoning, a perspective, let me know. I'll see you guys on the next one.